ended last November. Coming up, the Busch Clash, a 50-mile dash for $290,000 in prize money involving 15 men, the fastest of the fast, whose sheer talent for speed won them pole positions last year and the right to race here today. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Economaki. I'm the greensward here at Florida's famous Daytona International Speedway. You know, in the economic hard times in a sport where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing, I am awed by the pressures drivers are under. Pressures from the car makers, pressures from the team owners, pressures from the sponsors and the fans. How this unique race will unfold, let's go across pit road now to my CBS broadcast colleague, Mike Joy.
Chris, this all-star race has a Super Bowl-type format. These drivers drew for starting positions. They'll take off from the green flag and run 10 green flag laps. Then, the leader gets $25,000 and we take a halftime break. The cars will come here to pit road. Any service that could normally be performed during a Winston Cup race will be undertaken, except no fuel may be added. Then, they invert the running order. The last shall be first, and they'll run 10 more green flag laps. The man who takes the checkered flag is the winner, gets an additional $35,000. When we come back, Ken Squire, Neil Bonnet, and Ned Jarrett will take you through the starting field and a look at this very unique race. We'll be right back.
The 1992 Busch Clash is sponsored by Smooth Busch Beer and Easy Drinking Busch Light, the official beers of NASCAR. Goodyear, #1 in tires. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Here at Daytona Beach, temperatures edging toward the 60s on a sunny and beautiful day to go racing. Hello, everyone. I'm Ken Squire, and alongside is the two-time winner of this event, Neil Bonnet, and the two-time Winston Cup champion. That's the guy that you know pretty well here on CBS. And I hope, Ned, that we have a great race today as we get set for 15 cars to compete over the distance. The field is rolling out right now. And as we take a look into turn number 1, everybody is away and getting set for business. Let's take a look at the starting order for today's race. In row number 1 is Brett Bodine with the Kenny Bernstein car, and Jeff Bodine in new colors this year for Bud Moore. Going to row number 2, another set of Fords, and Mark Martin with new livery on his car, and Bill Elliott out for the first time in the Junior Johnson car. For row number 3, Ricky Rudd makes his 8th start, and 3 times he's been star-crossed in this event. Making his first appearance, Michael Waltrip up there in the number 30. Going back to row 4, and here you have Terry Labonte, the 1985 champion of this race, and Harry Gant making his first appearance since 1988. In row 5, Alan Kowicki, car number 7 of Ford, is there, and Sterling Marlin is another rookie to this race, driving that second Junior Johnson car. For row 6 today, here's another freshman, Chad Little out of Spokane, Washington, and Kyle Petty, who's one to really watch in this race. Another row back, and you have Rusty Wallace and Ernie Irvin, who's been the fastest Chevy thus far in the week. And out back, Davey Allison ready to rumble. He's had a second, and a third in this event. The last time he's appeared here, he was not here a year ago when Ernie Irvin came home in second place with this new format. And there's the track analysis.
Well, it's 2.5 miles in length. It's a tri-oval, Ken. Of course, the degree of the banking in turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 is 31 degrees, and in this tri-oval is 18 degrees.
Field coming around. They'll take a lap down on pit road. Taking a look at the type of cars. We have 8 Fords out here in this show, 3 Chevys, 3 Pontiacs, and 1 Oldsmobile to make up the field of 15, which is the second biggest field in the 14-year history of the event. Let's go to pit road with Chris Economaki.
Cars in the race, Ken. Rusty Wallace is a new car, Alan Kowicki, Bill Elliott, Brett Bodine, Davey Allison, and Kyle Petty. All others are revamped 91s. Some drivers built new cars specifically for this race.
A lot of cars like that number 11. That was the intended car for the 500. And then they like the old cars so much better. It's one they really pulled out of the boneyard is the one they're going to run in the 500. But Bill Elliott feels more comfortable in it, and the new car gets to run this special sprint today. 2 10-lap segments. There is Bill Elliott, the second time in his career in something other than a car number 9. Let's go to Mike Joy.
Buddy Baker won the first Clash, led the most laps of any winner, and then came back and lost it on the last lap to Neil Bonnet. You've won it, you've lost it. What do you do here?
Well, there's really not any strategy. You know, there's a limited amount of cars in this race, a very action-packed race. Last place cars got just as good a chance as the guy starting on the pole. The main thing is just when you get a shot, go after it.
Okay, Buddy Baker.
Take it green this time by. Take a look at the in-car cameras here. There you are with Bill Elliott up there in that second row for his start. Car number 11 settling down for a go. Here you are with Ernie Irvan well out back, 14th starting position. He'll be flying in these first laps. And from Davey Allison, shotgun on the field. The Fords have had a mile and a half on almost everybody up till now. Do you think they'll hold anything back, not create any political ripples here, Neil, as we get ready for next week's 500?
Ken, I don't think they can afford to hold anything back. There's too many good Fords. They got to race each other real hard.
And I think they will just go flat out. They need to see how these cars are going to handle in traffic, and this is the first time that they have had that opportunity. Evidently, they're not getting the green flag this time by. One more time.
Indication is take one. They're taking one on the field before they turn them loose.
This is the first test that they have had in traffic, running close to other cars to see how the cars are handling. They have gone through a tremendous change in the inspection procedure, and it has caused some teams to have to alter their cars a little bit to get more back in line, and that will affect the handling qualities of the car.
Gary Nelson has been in charge of going that inspection up to speed here, and it was rigorous even this morning. All day Thursday we saw them having their problems getting through inspection. A lot of new fuel cells in these cars. Mike Joy is down there with Darrell Waltrip.
Darrell will be with us throughout the Clash, Ken. In '87, you came from 7th to lead the first lap of this race. Nobody's ever started further back and done that. What do you think?
Well, the cars in the back, actually, with these restrictor plates, have a pretty good chance. What you're going to see happen is those front cars, when they take off, they're going to they're not going to have the advantage of anybody in front of them. They're going to bog down just a little bit. The guys from the back of the pack, the Allisons and the Wallaces, those guys are going to have a real suck going down that back straightaway. And the only thing we're going to have to watch as fans and viewers is that third turn.
Let's look at it unfold.
Remember, not too long ago, right here on that very first lap, they had trouble coming down across the line. 3 cars got tangled up out here. You remember that?
Ken, one thing that contributes to that, in most tracks on a restart, on the start of the race, the thing is to be careful. This track, you've got to go. There's no time to be careful. The guys usually run harder the first couple of laps than any time during the race.
That was one of those incidents when Ricky Rudd got tangled up back in '87 with Terry Labonte. I think Earnhardt had a piece of that one, too. Here we are, coming to the line. Earnhardt, who won this race last year, came from 6th on the first lap to lead in the first 10-lap segment, and then from dead last in the second segment, and did it in 2 laps.
But he's not in it this year. Didn't win a pole in 1991.
Pace car is in. Field is down. 14th annual Busch Clash, first segment, for a $25,000 to win prize, $116,000 at stake, underway.
The Bodine brothers raced down towards the start, turn 1, but Brett Bodine outdragged his brother Brett into turn first.
And remember, that's an Ernie Elliott engine that is carrying Brett Bodine to a 3-car length advantage as they come out of turn 2.
Kenny Bernstein, the owner of this green car, has been Buicks for many years. They switched to Ford for 1992.
Back straightaway, dropping to the inside. The number 15, the Bud Moore car, now with Jeff Bodine at the controls. That number 30, they report, had a sticky throttle for a moment. Meanwhile, out of the back, look at Elliott has dropped back a little, and here comes 30 up on the outside. That's Michael Waltrip in the yellow car, making a move for 3rd spot. 1 lap down. Labonte driving a Chevrolet, the number 94, which was an Oldsmobile a year ago, and everybody in there tight together.
Michael Waltrip's made a good move. Started in 6th place, came up on the outside. He liked what he was seeing up there, picked up some draft, and moved all the way into 3rd now.
Well, these first few laps are really going to be critical, positioning yourself. Michael got a good job like Ned's talking about. The guys on the inside are really going to pay a price. This big scramble right here is what's going to be key, getting in position.
Okay, you saw him move. Brett Bodine moved to the inside of the track, trying to break the draft of any cars behind him. Of course, his brother Jeff knew exactly exactly what he was doing. He followed, so did Michael Waltrip.
And Sterling Marlin, number 22, from 10th up to 4th. The blue and white Thunderbird out of Junior Johnson Stables, making a good move as it comes around on this lap. Back to the stripe. Sterling Marlin looking strong.
Hey, look at Michael Waltrip coming up on the outside of Jeff Bodine, and he made the pass.
Sterling Marlin goes to the inside. And Sterling and Mike Waltrip side by side.
Absolutely on the floorboard. And here to second place comes Sterling Marlin, number 22.
Now, they can't afford to run side by side too long. Brett Bodine will be gone. When two cars run side by side, they're breaking a big passel of air there, and the front car will be able to pull away. But neither of those drivers wants to back off.
And as they do, the number 26 is drawing away. I'll tell you what, they're coming back on him even here. That's incredible as they come out of 4.
Well, it really is with them running side by side that they're able to stay that close. But they also have cars behind them running side by side. In fact, everything behind Brett Bodine is 2 abreast.
And now 3.
Yeah.
From Ernie Irvin's car as he gets underneath Alan Kowicki.
And Ricky Rudd in the car number 5, Chevrolet.
Side by side for the lead. Brett Bodine is there. Moving up alongside bottom of the racetrack, number 22.
Sterling Marlin, car number 22. You see Jeff Bodine just break out from that pack, pulled on the inside of Terry Labonte in car number 94, trying to take over 3rd place. But Labonte now has picked up the draft of the green car of Brett Bodine. They are flat going at it, Neil.
I tell you, this is a pleasant surprise. The Clash in the past few years has been single file racing. These guys have been side by side since the race started.
Yeah, by now, a year ago, Earnhardt had just driven off. Nobody's driving off. 4, 5 wide.
Wow, you can't believe how Ernie Irvin was down there trying to take over 3rd. And then they went 2 abreast on the outside of him. Now he drops back to 7th.
First to last, 15 cars, 0.8 of a second apart from Ernie Irvin's bumper camera. Back there. Here you see the 11 up on the outside, Kowicki's car. Back for the lead. Here comes Sterling Marlin, bottom of the racetrack, and with him is coming Terry Labonte in the Billy Hagan car, number 94.
I'll tell you, he's making an impressive run. First time that he's run Chevrolet. They've been running Oldsmobiles in the past. They were down there and tested. Were not really pleased with their test. Terry Labonte, an expert at drafting.
I think one of the big things that's happening is Ford is not just driving away with the race, which we were concerned with. It's close. All the GM cars are still able to hang on.
And the Chevy that's making the move is the 94. Labonte on the bottom at 190 miles an hour, diving down into turn number 1.
Here we are in Davey Allison's car. He has nowhere to go on the back bumper of the Ernie Irvin car, number 4. There's Ricky Rudd in the car number 5 up on the outside.
Chris Economaki.
On the headshots, you can see the drivers waving their hands. They're signaling to one another, trying to get somebody to help them. The term working together isn't really effective. When they work together, it's to help themselves, not the other guy. But now is when this play comes into a position of importance. They've got to help one another.
Right now, Sterling Marlin doesn't want to help anybody. He's drawing away. He's come to the outside. He has Bodine behind him. That's the help that he might get to stay there. But you know that Bodine will make another run on him. Look at this move in the main straightaway.
Davey Allison way down on the inside. Picks off Ernie Irvin.
Davey Allison moving beneath Ricky Rudd.
Not only moving beneath big Ricky Rudd, he was also beneath the white line going in the corner.
Mike Joy.
Darrell and I are watching that. Davey started last, and Darrell, to pass anybody, he's had to go right to the apron to do it.
Mike, this is an incredible race. I'm loving every minute of it. Let's get back to the race. Let's watch this stuff.
Now, strategy, do you want to win this first half and start last?
Hey, these guys want to win anything. They want to win if there's a basket of apples out there to go for.
For the moment, that basket of apples belongs to Sterling Marlin out of Columbia, Tennessee. The second place man is Brett Bodine. Then it's a scramble. Michael Waltrip is there, riding in 4th. Terry Labonte, and Texas Terry is looking tough in that Chevy today. Meanwhile, Ernie Irvin, who started back in 14th, he's drawn up to 5th, and still looking for a place to ride is the number 28. There is Davey Allison, that Ford, who started dead last in 15th as time runs out, shooting down to the inside. He's underneath number 4. He gets Irvin, last year's Daytona champion. He comes after Ricky Rudd. What a battle as Davey Allison scoops right down to the bottom of the racetrack and makes it stick there.
Well, some people were wondering if the Fords would handle in the traffic. Davey Allison's car looked very smooth there, Neil.
It sure did, Ned. And earlier, that when Bodine was waving, it looked like he might have been a little bit loose getting in the corner. So some guys are better than the others.
Running out back right now is the Rusty Wallace car number 2. Here's the fight up in front.
Averaged 185.9 miles an hour in the first 5 laps, and that counted getting up to speed on the first lap.
Coming to 4th spot, number 28, Davey Allison. Time running out. You're riding with Davey Allison down the backstretch of the 2.5-mile Daytona International Speedway. Last lap at 197 miles an hour, and he's overtaking.
And look at how directly he ran behind Michael Waltrip going down the backstretch to pick up the draft, and you can see how he was able to move right in on him now coming off of turn 4.
On this deal here, he's able to pass some cars low. He might have to move to the outside of the tri-oval to make a pass through the corner on the straight part of the track here.
What a preview for the Daytona 500 next Sunday here on CBS. Live flag-to-flag coverage. 4 cars in a bundle up in front. Look at Michael Waltrip. Hang it right in there in that Billy Engel prepared car number 30. Here's Allison. Here comes Waltrip to the inside.
He gets the help of Davey Allison. Maybe he motioned to him, said, pull on with me and we'll blow off Brett Bodine, and they just did it. Waltrip moves into second. Davey Allison now moving into third.
So on the board, it's Ford, and Pontiac.
But when they did that, Ken, Sterling Marlin was able to open up on a 5 or 6 car length lead. But I'll bet Michael Waltrip and Davey Allison hooking up together will run him down in less than a lap.
Ford, Pontiac, and Ford coming to the line. Caution flag is out.
Perhaps debris on the track.
Non-counting laps. And that could be the end of that first segment. That was the halfway.
Okay.
Halfway declared. They threw out the yellow for the halfway distance. And as they came to the line, Sterling Marlin.
That was so exciting. We didn't want that half to come, did we?
I kind of lost place where we're at. I was kind of sitting in the seat with them.
Gee, what a remarkable first segment of this event. And what a showing by Michael Waltrip in that yellow number 30 Pontiac car. Ned Jarrett, your thoughts about that run by that Pontiac? That was a car that was somewhat discounted until right now.
Well, towards the end of last year, that car became very fast. And it's not really that surprising for the insiders in racing to see that car come up through there.
Well, we'll be back with more at halftime here at Daytona in the 14th annual Busch Clash as Sterling Marlin is looking good after round 1.
It is halftime here at the Busch Clash, and each of these teams have been in and performed a bit of surgery. Every car took on 4 fresh tires. They're not allowed to add fuel. And many of the cars that Ned and Neil were talking about being a little bit loose out on the racetrack took the spoiler angle and bumped it up a bit. The NASCAR officials were right there with their gauges, their protractors, to make sure that none of the cars exceeded the minimum spoiler angle for more straightaway speed. We'll report back a bit on specific adjustments down here. Ken?
Well, let's take a look at that finish order on the first 10 laps. The $25,000 prize going to Sterling Marlin, with the second spot across the line belonging to Michael Waltrip, and finishing third was Davey Allison, with Brett Bodine, who started on the pole, winding up 4th, and coming from 14th to finish in 5th was Ernie Irvin, while Terry Lamonti, who made a good stout run midway, finished in 6th. And then came Ricky Rudd in 7th, Kyle Petty in 8th across the line as we got down to the end of that one. That was some thunder. Alan Kowicki wound up 9th, and in 10th, backing up a bit there from the outside of row 4, was the car number 11, driven by Bill Elliott. Here's Chris Economac.
Well, we know $290,000 up in prize money. That brief pit stop at $225 a tire. All 15 cars changed 4 tires. Almost $15,000 worth of tires were put on those cars for this last 10-lap dash.
That's a number to conjecture for a moment. Wow.
Well, it
expensive stuff out here, folks.
Well, it really is. But when one changes tires, they have to. Everybody else has to put them on, because new tires will simply run faster. The cool, fresh tires will run faster. So let's go back to pit road.
Jeff Bodine made an early stop for a spoiler adjustment. He's just come in again so he doesn't lose a lap on the racetrack, and they put 4 brand new tires on that car. His brother Brett Bodine, who dropped a bit back from the point, made a spoiler adjustment, and we'll give you more changes in a moment.
When we return, on the pole will be Rusty Wallace, and Harry Gant will be alongside. And the complete final results again on this first 10-lap segment. As we leave you for a moment, there you see the pole and outside pole for the second 10 laps. The cars that came in dead on the bottom of that first 10-lap shootout. And there is that finish with Sterling Marlin first, Michael Waltrip second, Davey Allison third, Brett coming to fourth, Ernie Irvan finishing in the fifth position. Looking further back, you see Bill Elliott's car, which had started in fourth, wound up in 10th.
Maybe sandbagging a little so he'd get a better starting position here on the second half.
Not according to Neal. And there you see the finish of it. And so Rusty Wallace goes to the pole. Harry Gant outside for the second and the telling Busch Clash. Is Alan Kowicki and the Felix Sabetta's car of Kyle Petty alongside. In row 5, it's Ricky Rudd and Terry Labonte's number 94. For row 6, Ernie Irvan and Brett Bodine. Row 7, Bobby Allison, who made that, or rather Davey Allison, who made that tremendous run toward the end of this race. And Michael Waltrip. And in row 8, the winner of that first segment, Sterling Marlin, getting ready to go. The airship Shamu bringing us today's aerial shots of the Busch Clash. Piloting airship Shamu today, Peter Buckley, and assisting Bill Stouffer. Pace car is in, 10 laps, $174,000 is the up the ante here, $35,000 to win. Championship in the Busch Clash decided in this segment. I agree.
How many were sandbagging in that first one to get a good starting position in this second one? Well, time will tell.
Wallace sprints out in front. Jeff Bodine going right with him, and they lock up in a two-car draft by turn 2. Try to draw away and look down to the bottom of the track as Ricky Rudd sprints toward the front in car number 5.
Harry Gant just caught in the middle there. They were going by on the inside and the outside. He had no one to draft, and he's going from the front to the rear.
Inside with Davey Allison's car as he rockets up through traffic on the bottom. Back with the leaders again as you see Wallace deployed in first as they come around that second spot. Coming to the line is for the moment Bodine. Jeff Bodine is there, and right behind him Mark Martin. Ben Kowicki on the inside in fourth. And on the outside is Bill Elliott. The number 11 car. Elliott taking that high line.
And look at Michael Waltrip in the yellow car and Davey Allison both just trying to find some running room. Davey was able to come from the rear to third in the last race. He's just looking for a place to go. That Ford handling good for him.
I tell you, this back straightaway is an ideal place. They can get spread out real wide right here and make some moves on this back straightaway.
From Ernie Irvan's bumper, you're watching behind. That's Terry Labonte's car we're seeing there. Michael Waltrip down on the inside.
Here we come back out of turn number 4. Looks like we're going to have quite a year, gentlemen, as they come back to the line. If this is any indication, Wallace stays first, Bodine second, Martin hanging in third.
Again,
look
this
at Kyle.
About a third of the field that you'll see in the Daytona 500. You'll see this kind of racing with just a third of the field. Imagine what we'll see next Sunday.
Kyle Petty in fifth spot goes down on the inside. Here he is trying to make a move as they go down the back straightaway. Here's Chris Economac.
I see the talented hand of Roger Penske in this second half. He was in the pits this morning. He's one of the owners of Rusty Wallace's car, and he obviously told Rusty to save it for the end. But right now, they got to get concerned with Jeff Bodine, who just moved around him.
And with Mark Martin, Chris, who pulls up on the outside. And here comes the field. An avalanche coming down on turn number 4, trying to overwhelm Rusty Wallace as they come back to the line.
Ken, now we're beginning to see shades of that first race that was so thrilling, side-by-side racing. They stacked them up, and now they're all in a 2 and 3 abreast again.
Here's Michael Waltrip in the yellow car down on the bottom, trying to find any kind of running room there.
Yeah, he wants to get up there behind Davey Allison. That's what he wants to do, but he has a car between he and Davey Allison. That's Harry Gant in between.
There you see the number 28, Davey Allison, into the back straightaway, holding right on behind Ernie Irvan.
Boy, that draft is so critical down that back straightaway. One line moves, other line moves.
To the inside, number 4, Ernie Irvan breaks it up. The Morgan McClure car stuck it on the bottom, dove it down deep into 3, and he's up another spot.
That's GM's strongest gun right there. That's the fastest GM product at Daytona. He's got 2 strong Fords in front of him.
Davey Allison gets around Rusty Wallace on the bottom of the racetrack, and now let's see if he can clamber up through this race. Both Bodine brothers have led today. That's a Busch Clash first. Now Davey Allison getting overwhelmed as on the outside, Michael Waltrip. Here comes Sterling Marlin making a move. Got caught outside the draft.
Got caught outside the draft, and they just drive around on the inside. And Neil, I believe the best place to be if you get somebody to go with you is up on the outside.
Seems like the cars are free up there, Ned, like you say, and they can make a lot better run off the corner.
Kowicki making a run to the bottom. Car number 7. Down low, Kowicki pulls up when he goes to 4th.
Boy, the only passing we can really see at times is when that big pack gets together. We got to get them bunched back up again and let them make some moves here.
Taking a look here at Alan Kowicki. Let's go to Mike Joy.
Allen made the biggest change of any driver during the halftime break, Ken. They added a 1-inch spring spacer underneath the right front spring. That car was a little loose. And you were inquiring about Bill Elliott. He just asked for and received a little bit of wedge. Otherwise, his car same as it was. So
Elliott's car, which had backed up a tad, trying to make a run here to get back up with those leaders. 4 different leaders. That ties the 1980 record. Here we are coming to turn 3, and down to the inside, here comes Sterling Marlin.
Boy, his car is fast. 4 laps to go when they come back to the line, fellas.
Ned, in that one move, he just passed 4 cars down the back straightaway. He was in the rear. He made a good move there.
But now he has himself caught down there. Perry Labonte is behind him. That might help him a little bit. But
hung out to dry.
Yep.
Same thing that happened to Davey Allison a few moments ago.
Boy, that's a helpless feeling to make a move that you're supposed to do in a race car, be aggressive, and have to pay the price for going backwards.
Jeff Bodine stays in front. Mark Martin is right there in 2nd. You're riding with Ernie Irvan in 3rd. Live coverage of the Busch Clash next Sunday, the Daytona 500, 34th annual, the Great American Race, here on CBS. A comment from Darrell Waltrip and Mike Joy.
Darrell, you're the all-time lap leader in this event. 50 laps. Would you want to be out in front right now?
I really would. I'd like to rather be there than where I am right now, I tell you that. But I want to give a call to my brother. He's doing a heck of a job.
But you want to be in the lead for these last few laps.
Oh, yeah. It's these cars with the restrictor plates, unless you're driving a car like Sterling Marlin's, his car is extremely fast down the back. But for the most part, you don't have the punch. You just don't have the get up and go to pull out and pass. If the guy in the front just is a little bit elusive on the last lap, he ought to be able to hold them off.
Well, there are 2 drivers in the field that have more experience at Busch Clash racing than any others, and they're Bill Elliott and Jeff Bodine. Jeff Bodine has never won this race. He has come awfully close a number of times, but he's out front right now. Can he hang on?
There's the black number 66 of Chad Little. He's moved very quietly up into 6th spot. Nice run by the Spokane, Washington racer. Back there in 6th, and he's fighting with Sterling Marlin. Here he is in the bottom, up on the outside of him. Here comes Sterling Marlin trying to ramble up through, and with him comes Davey Allison. His time is running out. It's still Jeff Bodine in 1st, Mark Martin in 2nd. Ernie Irvan is in 3rd. Kowicki running in 4th.
Just 2 laps to go here, Ken. Something's going to have to happen. It looks like Ernie Irvan's laying back and seeing if he can make a run on those guys. I don't know if he's able to do that.
I think that Mark Martin is sitting on it right now. I think he's just waiting his time. Look at these cars bob and weave at over 190 miles per hour. Davey Allison right down in the very bottom. That looked like Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison at the end of the 1979 race, right down just about in the grass.
But he's not going to have enough time to get to the front. The white flag is waving.
1 lap to go. This is it for the 14th annual class. Jeff Bodine in front, driving for the first time in the Bud Moore colors. Here comes Mark Martin just easing along into turns 1 and 2. Martin in that 2nd spot, and here comes Davey Allison down low under Kowicki. Davey Allison, car number 28, pulling up on Ernie Irvan.
Well, I said he wouldn't have enough time. I still don't think he has. There are 3 cars, very fast cars, in front of him. It's coming up on Ernie Irvan. Now Irvan makes the move.
Ernie Irvan to the inside. Knocks down Mark Martin, sets him back. And he comes after. Number 15, Ernie Irvan, wide open as he comes up. It's a Ford Chevrolet battle to the finish here in the Busch Clash. At the line, looking for some place to run out of room. Give it to Jeff Bodine. Car number 15. The Bud Moore Racing Team scores a victory here in the Busch Clash, and Ernie Irvan makes it dramatic with a last lap maneuver around Mark Martin. And if he'd had just, oh, but that's the story of racing. If he had had just, and name the time, name the laps.
Again, this 15 car is one we saw repeatedly come back on pit road and not hesitate to make big chassis changes, and it paid off here at the end.
Jeff Bodine has won at the Busch Clash, the start of Speed Weeks here at Daytona, and done it in dramatic fashion over Ernie Irvin. It's a unique and strange sight here at Daytona as we end this Busch Clash. This wonderful crowd out on a Saturday, and all the cars are being checked right now. Here you see Gary Nelson, without the hat on, checking that rear spoiler.
That's been the new thing in NASCAR. He's personally going to inspect these cars. There he is in the white striped shirt. He's the guy laying the protractor on. He wants to take charge of this thing, make sure these cars are straight up. And he's been doing a heck of a job with that, Ned.
Yes, he has. The winner, Jeff Bodine's car, was the first one to be checked. He is headed to victory lane now, but all the other cars, before they were allowed to even come, they didn't even get on pit road hardly before they had it set up that they come in for that check.
The guy who was fourth 5 times in this race in his 10th start has just collected $39,000 in winning this 1992 Busch Clash. 10th start finally brings it home. Jeff Bodine out of Chemung, New York, the 1986 Daytona 500 champion. Headed for victory lane. We'll greet him there in just a moment as this inspection continues, and that gives you an idea of just how stringent they're being this year for the Daytona 500 and the other events like the 125-mile qualifiers, which you'll see next Saturday here on CBS. Now here's Jeff Bodine pulling in. And Mike Joy is standing by with the winner.
Hallowed ground. Jeff Bodine, you won the Busch Clash.
Yeah, was that unreal or what? That was awesome. That was tough. The little slamming and banging out there, but hey, what a race. That was great.
For anybody to get to the front today, that was a task.
Well, we knew it. We weren't handling good in that first 10 laps. The boys made an adjustment to change tires twice. We had a set vibrating when we went out first, and made a spoiler adjustment, knocked it up a little bit, and it was just enough so I could run wide open ahead of Mark and the rest of the fellas.
If the car will run like this all next Sunday, could win the Daytona 500.
This car, we're running another car. The other car we got for the 500 is a better car than this one. This is a good car, but we got a better one for the 500. So all you Motorcraft Big Blue Ford fans, watch out Sunday. We're going to be tough.
Here's Chris Economaki for some final thoughts.
Well, the opening big race of the 1992 season is history. It's been a great race. Jeff Bodine pulled in the victory lane with a car that didn't have a scratch on it. A quality to the ability of these drivers and to the competition. We have the makes from Ford and General Motors setting the stage for a great season and a great 500 next Sunday, Ken.
The second time, Chris, that a Ford has found itself in victory lane in the Busch Clash. The other time back in 1987. So let's take a look at the final results on this 14th annual Go. Jeff Bodine puts his name in the record book after starting third in that second segment. Ernie Irvin brings that Chevy to second. Mark Martin had to settle for third. Davey Allison fourth. Alan Kowicki a strong fifth. Looking further back on the field, Sterling Marlin got himself a sixth position. Bill Elliott seventh.
Michael Waltrip eighth. Ricky Rudd in ninth place. And Chad Little finished 10th in his first ever Busch Clash.
And the rest of the field as they came across, Brett Bodine was there in 11th and Kyle Petty in 12th.
Terry Labonte in 13th place, Rusty Wallace in 14th, and Harry Gant in 15th. Unusual place for him.
Yeah, after last September, for sure. So basketball is coming up this afternoon. It's going to be Duke, was number one. They're up against LSU. They could still be number one after this afternoon's game. That's the point of conjecture in that activity, which you'll see here on CBS. But we've had a dandy finish with Bodine. Jeff Bodine finally winning this event after trying 9 previous times and coming close on one occasion to second place, and all those finishes in 4th and 5th spot. Well, today he finally brought it home, and what a great day for Donnie Wingo and for Bud Moore as well. A thought from Neil Bonnet.
I'll tell you, I know Bodine is happy about winning the race, but I think the Chevrolet contingent is say they have a chance now. Before this race started, everybody said Chevrolet's out in left field. The second place finish really pumps the rest of the guys up. It's going to be up in the air.
Yeah, all during the winter test here, the Fords were dominant as far as the speed was concerned. But yes, the General Motors cars were competitive. So I think when we put them all together next Sunday in the Daytona 500, it's going to be something to see.
How do you think Gary Nelson's working out down here?
Well, I tell you what, Gary's in charge of all the inspection now for NASCAR, and he said he's going to pop the whip and straighten them out. There's enough spare pieces over to build 5 or 6 race cars that he's confiscated, but it looks like it's going to be straight up, and I think that's where everybody wants to race.
Robert Yates had one of the great quotes earlier. He said to Bill Francis, I think you've taken care of about 80% of the cheating in NASCAR. And Bill said, how? And he said, well, you've hired him. And he was speaking about Gary Nelson. Nelson certainly knows all the tricks, doesn't he?
Well, he knows all the tricks, no question about it. And that's the kind of person you need in there. He's right up to date on the latest technology, and he's going to be good for the sport. Everybody feels that way.
So for the entire CBS announce crew, I'm Ken Squire saying so long from the Daytona International Speedway. Coming up next, it's NCAA basketball with #1 Duke taking on LSU. Then join us later today for the 16th Winter Olympic Games from Albertville, France, commencing at 4 p.m.